Alright guys, what's up? It's Artem MMA Analysis here, going to be talking about Road to UFC again. This is episode 3, and this episode is actually going to be taking place on Friday. So, yeah, this is kind of the first quote-unquote episode, live episode, first round of the Road to UFC tournament. If you guys don't know about it yet, I've got a bunch of videos on my channel already. I've got a playlist talking about Road to UFC. Really excited for it. The winner of the tournament is going to be earning themselves a contract, and there's 4 weight classes per tournament. I know that probably makes no sense to you whatsoever, but if you guys don't know what that means, you're going to get more fights on UFC Fight Pass live on the coming days before UFC 275. Let's just get straight into it. There's going to be one non-tournament bout on each episode, or on each card, I guess you could say. Yamauchi versus Josephine, Lindegren at Nutson is actually that fight. So, yeah, this is going to be in the women's, I believe it's the women's strawweight division, it is. And I'm picking Josephine Nutson to win this one. I feel like it's more of a striker versus grappler matchup, but Yamauchi hasn't fought for 2.5 years, you know. She was a really good prospect way back in the day, has a lot of pretty good submission wins over somewhat decent levels of competition, and she hasn't fought for 2.5 years. Josephine Nutson, on the other hand, has got a really good kickboxing background. She's beaten a couple of alright girls in the regional scene, and I believe that's an amateur win there over a girl that was 10-5 on the amateur scene, which is pretty good for your debut. I'll be picking Josephine Nutson to win this one, probably by a decision on the feet. Josephine Nutson's going to have really good stand-up. So we'll be looking to get the fight to the ground, but we've got a really elite prospect in Josephine here, and I do think that she probably will get the win. Renji Nakamura versus Guzman. Renji Nakamura, I mean, I was going to say this guy is the dark horse to win the whole thing. I've been saying it the whole time that Renji Nakamura should win the whole thing. And I think everyone else already knows this. Like, the guys in Tapology, I know LMA and A's comments all the time. Renji is winning this whole tournament, I agree. And this other guy here, Jodra, the easiest pick on here, Renji is probably going to win the whole tournament, so hey man, that's not even a hot take anymore. Renji Nakamura, I do believe Renji Nakamura is going to win. He's so good. He's got really good kickboxing. He's a world champion in wrestling. I think he's like the world champion in under 23 wrestling or under 21 wrestling or something like that. Multiple time medalist in the world championships for wrestling anyway. I believe Japanese wrestling winner, champion or whatever. Like, really good wrestling base, but he's got crazy striking as well. He's got some really good KO wins. I mean, I think that's the one that has been going not super viral, but this video has been making the rounds on Instagram at the moment. Like, this guy's got really good striking, but he's got insane wrestling as well. Recently beat a very experienced opponent. When he was only 3-0, he beat a guy that was 23-6-1. Absolutely insane in my opinion. I think that he should win the whole thing using this wrestling. He's got really good striking as well. Renji Nakamura, only 4-0, but this guy is an elite prospect, and he's fighting Guzman, who's pretty good as well. I mean, he beat at somewhat decent levels of competition on the regional scene, but I don't think he's ready for Renji Nakamura. Renji Nakamura is so good, man, but I'll be picking him to win. I'm so hyped to watch Renji Nakamura fight. This next one here's got me a little bit confused. I'm going to be siding with Jubilee over Patrick Show Usami, and the reason for that is just that Patrick Show Usami, or just Show Usami as he's going by now, hasn't really been impressing me too much. No disrespect to him, obviously he's a great fighter, he's got a really good record. He's beaten a couple of alright guys as well, 6-8 record, 1-0, 1-2, and another debuting guy when he made his debut, but he recently lost to a guy that was 13-6, and Jubilee, he's 5-0, but he's beating good guys himself. I know the Indian regional scene really isn't something that you should be putting too much trust in, but I think that he probably should be able to beat Patrick Sowasami in this one here. Or maybe I should just call him Showasami. I don't know why I'm calling him Patrick, because that's what he used to go by Patrick, but now he's not, so I'm a bit confused. But Jubilee, he beat a guy that was 4-0 in his debut, beat a guy that was 5-4 after that, 2-0, 5-4, and then 2-1. So he's been beating some pretty good levels of competition for a guy that is as inexperienced as him. I'm surprised everyone's picking Usami. I think it's just because people can't trust the Indian regional scene. I understand, but I think Jubilee should definitely get past the first round over Patrick anyway. So, Yuma Horiguchi versus Top Noi. Top Noi's pretty good. He's actually a pretty good prospect himself, but Yuma Horiguchi's really good. I mean, he's 2-3 in his last 5, but he's quite underrated in my opinion. I mean, he lost to Ludwig Sholinian, who ended up being on the Ultimate Fighter season 29, and I think Ludwig Sholinian, same guy, yeah. And he lost to Leandro Gomez by a split decision on LFA. Beat Donovan Freelo, who's actually he's an alright prospect, I guess, on LFA. Lost to Charles Johnson by split decision, who's making his UFC debut against Muhammad Makayev. I mean, and then he also recently knocked out Mark Clamaco, who was 6-0. So Toponoi Koam, he's 3-2 in his last 5. Recently beat a pretty decent level of competition in 17-9. Lost to Yusaku Nakamura, who's 15-6, and Kai Asakura, who's a pretty elite prospect. But I mean, the activity, man, he hasn't fought for about a year and a half. Yamauchi fought about half a year ago. And before that, like, this guy was not fighting super often anyway, so I'm going to be picking Yuma Haruuchi to win this fight. I think he should definitely get the job done. He's a really good prospect, in my opinion. And I think that he should get the win in this one here. Moving up the card to the final fight on the episode, man. We've got Jung Young Lee versus Bin Z. Bin Z, really good grappler. I mean, Hey, it wasn't an impressive performance whatsoever against Oliveira Murad, but that was maybe it wasn't necessarily a robbery because it was a close fight, but I don't think he lost it anyway. I don't think Oliveira Murad really did win that one. I don't think that loss has aged well anyway, because I don't think he's fought since then. Am I correct? No, he does have it. He's got a fight coming up, but. Hey man, that was that was a decision that didn't go his way, but before that he was fighting in 1FC. His whole career has been taking place in 1FC, which is really impressive in my opinion. Pretty good levels of competition, I mean, especially towards the end. Beat a guy that was 5-1, beat a guy that was 12-6, and now he did lose his split decision to Olivier Murad. I did pick Bin Z to win that one, and he did let me down a little bit, but I think they should be able to get Jung Young Lee out of there on this one here. He's on a good win streak, I guess. He lost to Seyul Kim, but since then he's beaten a guy that's 19-9, 4-2, 8-4. Actually redeemed his one loss on his record, and Hae-Jin Park, who was 7-0. But once again, he hasn't fought for about 3 years now. He hasn't fought for about 2 years and 8 months. So I like Bin Z to potentially get the upset in this one here. I think that he should probably win that fight. But that's the end of my predictions for Road to UFC Singapore Episode 3. Really looking forward to this, man. Really looking forward to watching Renji Nakamura. This guy is a prospect to keep your eye on 100%. So I'll leave you guys there.